Next up is Best Multiplayer. Steven, the nominees are Back for Blood, Knockout City, It Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim.
What is Valheim?
Uh, yeah, I got nothing. I've heard it. I've heard of it. I hear things. I have never once looked into it myself.
It's got to be a PC thing, right?
No, I actually think I think it's on VR, and I believe it's on PlayStation as well.
Do you say VR?
I believe it's a VR game. I could be wrong on this, or at least have VR capabilities.
Trip Fantasy says Valheim on Steam is good. And then Demi says I play it on PC.
Trip Fantasy clarified is not VR.
Not VR. Okay,
But
thank you.
I believe it is on multiple platforms, so I don't think it's just PC.
We're just PlayStation plebs over here. We don't
I'm just a young boy.
we don't understand none of this personal computer bullshit.
There we go. Viking survival craft game.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So yeah, Trip Fantasy actually showed me this, I think. Yeah, it has very in-depth building, if I'm remembering correctly. Like you have to make actually structurally sound buildings, otherwise they'll collapse. It's like really in depth.
I feel like
You
a
get
lot of people are
fatigued if
really
you
bad at that
swim.
game.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, if this is the thing that I'm thinking of, then it's actually kind of a big deal on PC, and that might change my answers. To be honest, I just
Young
forgot about the name.
man, what are your picks?
So my personal pick is It Takes Two.
Okay.
And in chat, Imagine McNamee has said, I liked It Takes Two. So I'm with you as well, Imagine McNamee, which is weird because I haven't actually played it, but I love the concept and I love the games that they make. They are strictly co-op. Like the option to play it single player isn't even there. You have to play it with somebody else. And with It Takes Two, at least based on everything that I've heard, it kind of takes things to the next level. And one thing that I love in games, especially multiplayer games, is when there's diversity for gameplay mechanics and different settings and things like that. Things that kind of shake things up frequently. And It Takes Two does that in spades. Like so much so that people are amazed that they're still throwing new ideas at you, like every 10 minutes. That's why I love the game What Remains of Edith Finch, because literally every 10 minutes it's basically a different game. But yeah, so my personal vote is It Takes Two. However, I said that New World would win. And
interesting, young man.
The reason why is it's kind of a juggernaut. In the MMO world, I believe this is the first Amazon game.
It's not the first one. It's the only one that's actually like worked.
Okay, so it's the first like actually good Amazon game. But it seemed really interesting. My brother actually showed me some of this game, and what I enjoyed about it is there's a lot of like sort of world building that's dependent on the players. So the players can actually take over territory, and in real time, you can kind of take over each other's land, and it creates kind of like tribes, I guess. And like there's legit like full on wars going on, and that aspect of like creating a community and stuff I think is something that would really speak to a lot of people, and I think that that's compelling as a game. So I put that as the winner, though I think there's a case to be made for Valheim now that I remember what it is.
Gotcha. So my personal and professional pick on this, Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
So as personal one, because Rachel and I played Monster Hunter Rise for hours when it came out. It was all I touched. Came in from work, played Monster Hunter. I think that was probably the only game we played launch up until the birth of our son. That's what we played. And we got as much in there as we could because we knew once he was born, that would also stop. Just, because life. But it's a solid game, lots of fun, continuous support. Monster Hunter has done nothing but continue to become more and more accessible to its players. And so the game has launched on Switch. I think has come recently or is coming soon to PC. So it'll also see
Okay.
a sudden resurgence, I imagine, as well, much like Monster Hunter World did when it came to PC after it launched on consoles. The game's just outright fun. It's super easy to jump into. Customization, monsters are fun. We've got new monsters, the inclusion of the Palamutes, the rideable dogs you have in the game now, the fun story. I mean, it's just and Monster Hunters continue but to blow it out of the water with each iterations, as we've seen. So I think that alone will be a big thing. Again, also with install base, with how much that game sold compared to everything else on this list, I imagine the number of people voting, again, depending on how much that carries into the actual show, will play a huge factor into the results that day.
So you said that was your personal pick. Is that also your prediction?
Yes, like I said, it is my personal and prediction. I believe
Okay.
said professional pick, but yes, I believe
Okay.
Monster Hunter will win that all the way around.